The evolution of the NBA. The NBA has come a long way since its inception in 1946 as the Basketball Association of America, BAA. From its humble beginnings of barely filling up small gymnasiums to the glamorous and high-flying league that it is today, the NBA game has evolved tremendously over the years. In terms of game styles, uniforms, and even the type of players that the league attracts, the NBA has changed in both subtle and bold ways. Some of the most dramatic changes are the implementation of the three-point shot and the elimination of the hand and forearm checking were created in response to a highly physical big man's game and resulted in the subsequent rise of small ball. The introduction of the three-point shot began in 1979 when the NBA absorbed the failing American Basketball Association, who instituted the three-point shot in a desperate attempt to liven up the game. When the NBA and ABA combined, the three-point shot came with it. Despite the overwhelmingly positive reaction from crowds, players and coaches alike initially opposed the three-pointer. Famed coach and player Greg Popovich claims, "To me, it's not basketball, but gotta use it. If you don't use it, you're in big trouble. But you sort of feel like it's cheating. I still hate it." Players of past eras echoed the same belief, such as 12-time NBA All-Star Larry Bird, who remembers, "Back when I played, we just didn't shoot it that much. Now, if you're not firing up 33s, you're just not playing basketball." Although NBA stars of the past may see it as an easy way out, it is impossible not to acknowledge the immense role the shot plays in the game now. Consider the 2014-15 Golden State Warriors and Cleveland Cavaliers during the playoffs. The teams took second and third place in NBA history for average threes taken during each game, 29.1 and 30.3 respectively, compared to the first season after its implementation, 1981-82, where Pat Riley's Lakers won the championship while scoring just 13 total threes throughout the entire season. It is evident how dependent teams have grown on the shot, accurately summed up by Greg Popovich, who begrudgingly concedes, "If you don't shoot the three, then you probably aren't going to win." Another massive rule challenge that shook the foundation of defense was the gradual eradication of hand and forearm checking. Due to the increasingly aggressive defense among teams like the Bad Boy Pistons in the 1990s, the NBA aimed to combat fighting by instituting various regulations throughout the early 2000s. In 1999, the biggest rule aimed at creating a softer game was eliminating defensive contact with hands and forearms both in the back and front court, except with offensive players who got the ball below the free throw line. Similarly, defenders were prohibited from rerouting players off the ball or impeding offensive players setting screens. The NBA received plenty of criticism for allowing the game to become too soft by outlawing strong defense. The association acknowledges the new rules were intended to liven up the slow, physical game by choosing a special committee of basketball experts in the early part of the decade to study the game and make recommendations as to how to make it more exciting to watch, in an attempt to encourage a more fluid, inclusive offense. By doing so, the court successfully opened up, causing a steady rise in average points scored, field goal percentage, and three-point percentage. By following the new rules implemented in the early 2000s, basketball drastically changed to fit this new mold. One of the greatest challenges seen over the last decade is the successful rise of small ball and the deviation from big men consistently stationed under the post. Small ball is played by teams who sacrifice player size and low post emphasis to instead utilize smaller, agile outside scorers. Small ball teams build around a strong forward such as LeBron James, Kevin Durant, or Carmelo Anthony, who are then surrounded by players who can fluidly switch between positions. The 2014-2015 Golden State Warriors are an incredible example of the success of small ball. Without a massive player to physically dominate under the post, the Warriors won a championship for the first time in 40 years without starting a player over 6'8". Implementing offensive tactics that allow all five versatile players to execute quick, effective passes before shooting was essential to their success. And is certainly due in part to the athleticism and agile size of the players. Gone are the days of coaches preaching you can't teach size, and instead cue coaches like Steve Kerr claiming small ball is the way everyone is going and it's good for us. We're good at it. As the greatest basketball team in the world right now, good is a crude understatement. With a drastically more spread out court and lack of big men posting up under the basket, Players are also encouraged to increase outside shooting, once again leading to the mounting rise in three-point shots. League MVP Steph Curry, standing at just 6'3", is an embodiment of how greatly a team can benefit from having an excellent outside shooter, and is often regarded by many as possibly the greatest shooter of all time. Curry broke Reggie Miller's record by hitting 59 three-pointers throughout 13 games during postseason, while it took Miller 22 to complete 58 threes. He also broke his own 2013 record by making 286 during regular season. Curry's outside shooting is undeniably an essential factor to the Warriors' postseason success. Another factor contributing to the evolution of the NBA is the presence of international players in the league. International players are molded throughout their early careers with a greater emphasis on team fundamentals rather than individual success. Because US players grow up playing on numerous AAU basketball teams throughout their youth, they are taught more to focus on their individual development rather than that of the group. AAU can be damaging to young players who compete in upwards of 100 games throughout the year by participating in leagues during the off-season. Players are coached to be able to perform at their greatest caliber year-round. In contrast, European players spend this time practicing the basics and essentials of basketball while working as a team during off-season. Upon recognizing the benefit of this style of play, international players have become increasingly present in recent years. Throughout the NBA, with nearly a quarter of players representing 37 nations and territories during the 2014-15 season. One team that has adequately embraced the European style of play is the San Antonio Spurs. When San Antonio's coach, Greg Popovich, was a young player, he had a shocking revelation after being badly beaten by a Lithuanian team. He remembers, "We didn't get beat, we got shown up. We didn't just lose the game, we got a reminder about passing, moving the ball, sharing responsibility, and playing the right way." Personally, I had my eyes open to the fact that there were great basketball players all over the world, even if nobody else knew it. After acknowledging the massive talent that lay overseas, Popovich incorporated his beliefs into coaching and began building his rosters with international players, including 9 in 2014 when they won a championship. With this strategy, Popovich became a 3-time NBA Coach of the Year and earned 5 championship rings. Spurs general manager R.C. Buford claims, "This is all Pop's vision. He decided there wasn't a place in the world, a street we couldn't walk down, a rock we wouldn't turn to find a player." Spurs star Manu Ginobili from Argentina claims, "Of course, in general, we're not going to run as fast or jump as high. That's the Americans doing what they have. Though with the tools you've been given, you gotta find a way. Here, we just play the way Pop wants, the way we like, the way that gets the most out of us." Popovich knows how to tailor his game to international players, and the effects of European-style play have been nothing short of successful. 2-time MVP Nikola Jokic is an international player coming from Serbia. Jokic's unique style of play, which emphasizes passing and court vision, has set him apart from traditional centers in the league. We have never seen something like this before. In recent years, he has gained widespread recognition for his innovative approach to the position and is now considered one of the most exciting players to watch in the NBA. Traditional centers were typically seen as big, lumbering players whose primary roles was to protect the rim, grab rebounds, and set screens for their teammates. They were not expected to shoot from beyond the paint or to handle the ball extensively. However, with the rise of analytics and the three-point shot, the center position has undergone a significant transformation in recent years. Modern centers are now expected to be more versatile, with the ability to shoot from the perimeter, handle the ball, and make decisions as playmakers. However, with the rise of analytics and the three-point shot, Nikola Jokic's unique style of play defies traditional center stereotypes. Standing at 6'11", he's not the most athletic player on the court, but he possesses exceptional ball IQ and an uncanny ability to read the game. Jokic is a skilled passer, capable of running the offense from the high post, and his outside shooting has steadily improved over the years. He is also an excellent rebounder and rim protector, making him a well-rounded player at the center position. By embracing this modern style of play, Jokic has challenged the traditional center role and has proven that centers can be just as effective from the perimeter as they are in the paint. Nikola Jokic is undoubtedly changing the game of basketball with his unique style of play and revolutionary approach to the center position. Overall, basketball has seen a drastic revolution since the ages of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Larry Bird, Wilt Chamberlain, and even Michael Jordan. With the addition of the three-point shot and the removal of hand and forearm checking, basketball as a whole has become a more spaced out game that emphasizes outside shooting, teamwork, and speed, coupled with the introduction of more international players than ever before. Fans can expect an increasingly quick, smart game that develops in the NBA over the next several decades. Thanks for watching, and remember to like, share, and subscribe to stay notified on all our latest uploads. See you in the next video.